One-foot-flipper.
Hi, Paige here, the 1 Foot Flipper. How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good. Today, we're going to look at the most valuable Tupperware pieces according to eBay. Now, we're only going to be looking at the traditional soft plastics Tupperware and not other items with Tupperware branding. They make glass items, they make cookware, and we're not going to consider items manufactured by other companies that people refer to incorrectly as Tupperware. There are a lot of handgun cases that are often called Tupperware as their nickname, but they are not made by the Tupperware company. And finally, we're only going to look at singular Tupperware items or really tight sets, not large sets. We're not looking at a set of 30 bowls or 24 pie slices. But we're still expecting that pickle keeper or 5 canister set or cake holder to be complete. Or a mincer with all the accessories is fine, but no 30 bowls or huge sets of match containers or anything like that. I already know that my audience is both extremely attractive and extremely intelligent, and you're gonna realize that more stuff is worth more money than less stuff, and adjust accordingly. And if I took all that stuff into consideration, this list would have been impossible to make, so thus I didn't. When selecting which comp to use, I am skipping new items and I'm skipping new old stock items and only looking at used items, as 99% of the Tupperware you find is going to be used and not new old stock. And an example of a vintage Tupperware item may indeed sell for 10 times the amount that a used one will sell for, and that skews the list radically and makes you think that an item might be a gold mine when it isn't really. Okay, first thing we're going to look at here is going to be the honorable mention, the Tupperware Pickle Keeper Pickle Saver. I just had to mention this one even though it didn't get up to the prices of the other items, because you come up with this a lot, people mention this a lot, and thus they are definitely worth picking up every time. They're often sold in lots, different colors, gonna make a different value. This one here sold for $20. Next up, this is kind of a fun one. 1950s Tupperware donkey holder for salt and pepper shakers with the salt and pepper shakers. You will probably never find this. I'm not even sure if Tupperware made the donkey, but I just thought it was cool enough that I had to put it on this list. And salt and pepper shakers on their own can be valuable too. The Tim Hortons Promo Heinz Ketchup Loop. This is for putting onto something to carry your ketchup packets around with you. This is indeed a Tupperware item. Promotional or branded Tupperware items can be extremely valuable. This one sold for $39.99. More than one of them sold at that price because this seller had more than one of them. So back in September, I started thinking seriously about not sourcing lower dollar items anymore. And I stopped sourcing items that sell for under $10. Looking back, my medium listed item price over the summer is $14.57. Now, for those of you without your math degrees, your median is the number in the middle. It's not the average, it's the number in the middle. So if you have 7 items that sold for $1, 7 items that sold for $10, and 1 item that sold for $2, your median would be 2, because that's the number in the middle. But my median that case was $14.57. However, I stopped picking up items under $10. My September-October median rose to $19.87 just by saying no to those cheaper items. I still had no problem finding plenty of stuff to source at the bins. No issues there. $5 raise just by letting it go. And this week I made the conscious decision to reduce the amount of items that I had for sale in order to make more money in the long term. You see, I've got items stacked up in this incoming room behind me here. There's stuff still in the van, but there's no room on my stock shelves downstairs. So I pulled 400 items out of my store, almost all of which were $5 and below. Now, some of that's going to come back in the form of about 25 lots, but most of it's just going to go away. Now, this had the mathematical effect of instantly raising my overall store median price for non-cards by over $1. It was $9 and something, and it went up to $10.89. And this is going to clear out about 4 full storage tubs once I physically finish pulling all those items actually out of the tubs. Cake carriers are always good. The expandable one tends to be a little bit better than... Actually, no, I think the normal one's better than the expandable one. This is one I've never seen in real life. Apparently it squishes or gets bigger. This one sold for $38, which isn't bad. Probably would have sold for more if it was in a more of a classic color. Speaking of classic colors, this, your Harvest Gold, this is money in Tupperware. All your 70s colors are going to be money in Tupperware. This is the 3-gallon, 13-inch carry-all storage container. This particular one sold more than once by the seller, because they had more than one, for $49.99. This color in general, always good. Big pieces in this color are always going to be good. Next up, the large canister with the hooking handle green. It's one I've never seen in real life before, but this one sold for $38. It looks like a more of a newer item based off the color, but it's got to be out there somewhere, right? This one is definitely a more modern Tupperware item. The garlic storage container set sold for $38. Probably didn't retail for anywhere near that. I'm betting it's just because of the relative unavailability of Tupperware items in stores anymore is why this particular item sells for close to $40. The Tupperware, that's a mega bowl, pink mixing bowl with white lid. This sold on an offer of just under $30, so you get, the bigger your item, Tupperware item, the more money you're going to get for it. Almost always going to be true. Okay, let's look at some measuring spoons here and the measuring cups. Measuring spoons and measuring cups are going to sell in a very wide price range. Actually, all Tupperware sells in a very wide price range, particularly the vintage. Both because people are looking for specific colors to match their specific sets. They're not always very internet savvy to search by lowest price first or to be good at the search. And a lot of Tupperware sellers are just going to say it, they're incompetent. The differences in shipping prices I see listed for identical Tupperware items is insane. It doesn't cost $38 to ship a cake holder. It doesn't cost $9.75 to ship this, for that matter. But you see one person, $38 to ship that cake holder. Another person, $10. So that can affect those sale prices as well. But as soon as you get a set of measuring cups and spoons that are the same color, it's like you've quadrupled the price that they're worth. These sets individually might only be worth $6 a set, but suddenly you got them both the same color, $45. Plus overcharge shipping. Here we go, the classic cake holder. My wife has this. Note this price right here, $31.60 USPS Ground Advantage from Georgia, which I believe is only one postal zone away from me. This person has no idea what they are doing according to shipping. I don't know how they came up with that price, because I can ship this item to Georgia for less than $10, so I don't know why it's costing them $31 to ship it to me. So they left a lot of money on the table here because of their increased shipping price, so it could easily have gone for much more. This one will surprise you. This particular measuring cup sells in the $40 to $50 range all the time. The 1669 2-cup measuring cup. It's the taller one. If you see this, get it every time, because I mean, you see this. What does this look like? This looks like nothing, but it isn't nothing, is it? No, it's a bunch of money. Tupperware stuff that is branded or logoed for other things, like I mentioned before, is money. Cars lunch set, even missing a lid, so easily sold for $50. And look, they can ship all this to you for $8, but for some reason it's like $30 to ship that cake topper. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Another branded Tupperware item. Yes, this is indeed Tupperware. I had to go through all the photos to actually find the Tupperware logo. Chicken canister set sold for $45. And look, it is Tupperware, the real deal. Real deal. You'll probably never see this particular one, but you will probably see things like this eventually, or you'll see things like this and you won't think they're Tupperware. But check, see if they're Tupperware. It's going to take 30 seconds. You're already at the garage sale anyway. Flip it over, see if it's got the Tupperware logo. Like, you don't actually find much. I'm mostly a bin shopper. You don't actually find a lot of Tupperware at the bins, but you see tons of it at garage sales. The super extra large Superstore bin, $49. Once again, far too much shipping, $24.05, which is way more than this should cost. Ohio, which is in the same zone as me, I believe. But either way, $50 item all day long. The Power of Harvest Orange. This is a complete organizer. This sold for $50. So if you see this, you just know to pick it up. I think it's a rather rare item, though. I only spotted one of these when I was going through the items. The Blockbuster Video Popcorn Bowl. This is another item that, yes, it is a Tupperware item. These do sell in a wide price range. This person got lucky getting $65 for it, because I've seen them go as low as $20. I've seen people sell them 2 at a time for the same price as one. Once again, Tupperware just sells in a strange, weird price range because of issues with both the buyers and the sellers. These salt and pepper shakers, for some reason, sell for a ridiculous amount of money, but also in a ridiculously wide range. I don't know if there's variations on them or what. If you only got one, it seems to be worthless, but as soon as you got two and they match, it seems to be real money. This set sold for $79.99. Can you imagine that? Do people even keep salt and pepper shakers on their tables anymore? I mean, I've never had either on my table as an adult. I thought that wasn't healthy anymore. I mean, not that I'm all that healthy, but I've never had a salt shaker. Good old Tupperware. You know, you make your Kool-Aid or your lemonade in this, keep it in your fridge. Push button seal lid. $80 for a color match pair. Your classic canister set. This is the most expensive one of those that I did find in your Chevalier, your orange set from the 1970s probably. This could even be 1960s. $64.99, but this is going to sell in a wide range from about $25 up to about $65, depending on color and other pattern details, what day of the week it is, and everything else. Yes, this is indeed a piece of functional Tupperware. Remember, Tupperware used to be some sort of multi-level marketing type of thing, or something where people went door to door and tried to sell this stuff. And this was a sales award from 1978. And you could tell it is indeed a real piece of Tupperware because the lid comes off. If you find this, get it. It might take you a while to sell it because, you know, you got to be a pretty deep Tupperware collector before you want the sales trophy. But if you are, oh boy. Finally, our last one that sold on an offer about $130 is the Tupperware Fusion Master Juicer, Meat Grinder, Slicer with all the accessories. This barely even looks like Tupperware, so this would be easy to pass up, but oh boy, does it sell for money. Alright, I think that's all we got for today. If you have other things you want me to do top 20s of, why don't you post them down in the comments? Otherwise, thanks, and I hope to see you again soon.
Forgive me, I don't know his actual name, but his YouTube name is onefootflipper.